What up, baby? I'm gonna start by pulling out this key. Mr. Matt Happel from Sloppy Mechanics said don't use that key, use a 4-pole key. So I did order one, but I'm still gonna pull this key out anyways to see what it's like.
That might be a little crusty, huh? That looks like Grandma's panties.
Okay, we'll start by mounting the ECU then. And by ECU, I mean the micro squirt. It even has a little squirt thing on this. Oh my god. Who came up with this name anyways? Like they were like, what can we relate this to masturbating to? And then they were like, we'll just call it Mega Squirt and Micro Squirt. Guys. Today's video is sponsored by NordVPN. If you're like me and you're living in the frosty white North Canada, and you like watching a certain no-prep street racing show, but you can't because it's not available in your area, easy! NordVPN has you covered. One click, boom, we're in Utah. Now that streaming platform that was once unavailable, you can get it. But Kyle, what if I want to watch a show only available in Australia? Ha! NordVPN has more than 5,200 servers in 60 countries. So not only are you going to get an amazing variety of options, you're also going to get the fast ones too. And you can use it on up to 6 devices, like your phone, the PC, laptop, your second phone. I personally, if I've already been using NordVPN before they contact me to watch some of my favorite shows like No Prep King, Street Outlaws, and Gold Rush. And the best part is you can go to nordvpn.com/boostedlifestyle or the first link down below to get a 2-year plan plus 1 month free for a huge discount, like huge discount. And use promo code BoostedLifestyle. And it's risk-free for 30 days with your money-back guaranteed. So if you want to be safe and protected and watch cool shows not in your area, NordVPN's for you. Let's get back to building. Well, if we want to mount it back here, because that looks like the best spot to mount it, all we have to do is put it on this side, mark the holes, drill them, and then when you turn it the other way, it's going to fit. Follow me for more Kyle's Tech Tips. ECU is mounted in there. I went to go wire up our 3-bar map sensor next to our ECU, just like right there. But I bought a connector and a map sensor off Amazon just so I could get the connector out of it. But oh my, those boys put the wrong size seals in there because they don't even snugly fit around the wire. So that is not waterproof, you friggin' dumbos. Amazon, you did it again. I'm going to leave a 1-star review. Watch me. I guess it's my fault for being so cheap, but come on, like, that's simple arithmetic, I think. I didn't do very well in school. All right, I've got to make a simple coil bracket here. I'm thinking if I just put a plate along these 2 bolts right there, cut that off, and then you actually have to cut a circle out of here because the coil brackets aren't actually flat. You can see that they're up higher than the coil itself. So then mount that somewhere like that. And then we still have access to these bolts if we ever want to raise the engine up there, which we should. But you know I probably won't. And there we go. Simple little bracket. Gonna bolt up. And didn't have to make it too complicated, but we actually took the time to make a bracket, which is... it's new for us, having this thing full time and having all the time in the world. You can do stuff like that. I'll 100% be the first one to admit I'm not good at wiring. So I think we might have went a little overkill because I'm like, if I add that, that might help. If I add that, that might help. We've got that little board on top there. That's gonna be like, stuff like our 5-volt reference can go in there and then I can stick 2 wires on it. And below that, I actually put a fuse distribution block in here. So you put power to the top side here and it feeds all of these fuses, so I can run stuff like the coils and the fuel pump and the injectors off fuses. And then I just need a way to turn that power on, which is this 80 amp relay that I have laying around. And I'm only using the 80 amp one because it has this hole here and the other ones I have don't have that hole. And we're just gonna mount that on the side in there somewhere as well. And that's gonna feed this panel. And then all we need is some way to switch it on, either a switch or a key, and then a push button start or the key to start it. Like I said, not the best at wiring, but I can do enough to get it done. Man, who would have thunk it? But you can get one of these locally. I didn't even know it. It was only like 20 bucks. It has like different positions for different parts of it. We can wire this thing in. We'll be able to start. I just dropped it on the floor. I hope I didn't break it. The key wasn't turned in. Along with that, we got some bolts to finish off some stuff, some terminal ends, a battery, some more terminal end stuff. We're gonna have to solder some wires, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I wonder if this piece is, you know, just gonna fit in there. Nope. Yeah! Badass. Remember, boostedlifestyle.com for all your merch. Now we gotta hook up one of these batteries. I got a little tiny battery here. It's pretty cute. But it's one of those DIY batteries where you gotta like fill it yourself. So we gotta try not to, you know, explode ourselves. Delicate. Delicate. That's blue dye under pressure.
Delicate, Ricky, delicate.
This side's just filled with like plutonium or whatever it is that makes batteries work. And then this side's filled with electricity. I think you just boop it in here like this. Oh yeah, there it goes. All right, I've actually been going over in my head where I want this battery to sit because the battery is gonna be important because without the battery it won't start. To be honest, just to keep it simple, make a mount so I can mount the battery right there. That way it's easy to get at if we ever need to charge it because this piece actually flips up a little bit and you can just kind of connect it right there. And then right there, I mean, it makes the center of gravity a little bit higher, but it'll be accessible to run our power right down to there, ground probably just to the frame here and another ground somewhere else. And you know, it just makes it super easy. So I'm gonna cut up a piece of angle iron here and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Here's my idea. We got a piece of angle iron in the back. And we're gonna extend it by welding this piece on there. And this is gonna fit on this. Then we're gonna take a piece of this threaded rod and we're gonna weld it to this side so it sticks up to about here somewhere. And then take a piece of threaded rod and weld it to the back side so it sticks up. Then build a plate on top that just clamps it in. And we're gonna weld that angle iron to the bar on the chassis right there. I think that'll work. It is a tight fit down there, but everything on this thing is a tight fit. It is like literally 1/8 of an inch away from hitting the intake manifold. I did drill out the center right there, spot weld the center, and then I welded each side, so I'm hoping that's gonna be enough. We'll find out here in a second. Our Canada-proof battery. Perfect, perfect. And then I built this piece right here. Should bridge along the top. Put some nuts on that, and then I'll be good to go. That's it. Most times, you don't have to overcomplicate stuff. You just have to starting to do something and then do it. You'll probably fail at it the first time, but then the second time, you should have a good idea of what's not gonna work. Man, I'm a banana-shaped fuck. Like just bending over like this all the time. But I got it wired up enough now that the relay comes on when we turn our key on, which is kind of cool. So if we flick this key, you can hear the relay. Listen for the relay.
So that means we have power to our board down here now, and now we can start wiring in things like our injectors, our coil, our crank sensor, the things that we needed to wire in first.
And the way I put the distribution block there, if we wanted to add stuff like lights or a horn or anything like that, it's as simple as like taking power from there and then putting it on a switch. So I don't have to like dig for power anymore. I've sorted where my power and grounds are all gonna go. Went to the gym, took a little time. We got our relay in, but I spent some time soldering some stuff in there. So our resistor is actually soldered in there, and then this wire goes to our signal wire. So that was what we needed to do to upstep our crank sensor. Then that goes to this one. I lengthened these ones, the injectors and the coil. We do have to do the map sensor, but I got our solenoid. This is what it's gonna start our starter. So we need to wire this thing in too. And we should be able to test all the functions of the key, like accessory power, getting power to the ECU and stuff, and cranking it over by the end of this video. Also got a sick Amazon kit, like 20 bucks, dude. Look at all those things. Those are shrinky dink ones too. The good kind, shrinky dinks. And you know what, just for the record, because I am full-time YouTuber now, I am part owner of Black Sheep Industries. We sell wastegates, blow-off valves, turbos, all that good stuff. So if you want to check out the website, it's down below in my link tree. We do have a couple of these 45mm wastegates. They're piston-style wastegates, but we have a couple that have a little bit of a blemish in them back in stock. So some of you guys like to get some discounted products, and if you don't mind a little bit of like a scuff or like a little bit of imperfection. So we have a couple of those available right now if you guys want to grab them. Just message Nick at Black Sheep Industries Inc. on Instagram or on Facebook. Like I said, you're not obligated to buy anything, but if you just want to check it out to help us out, I appreciate it.
Where to mount this? We've made a mess of everything already.
So I ended up mounting it on this side only because
the chain actually runs through this side. If the chain breaks or anything, I just don't want it to smash up all kinds of wiring. So I put it on this side. It's going to be easy accessible because this pin right here actually goes to one of the pins right here, and then the other one goes to ground. And then we're going to do 6 gauge wire from the battery to the solenoid, and then from the solenoid down to the starter. So it makes it really simple just to run that wiring.
And you know, typical scumbag like me, I don't have the crimpers to crimp on 6 gauge wire, so like... crimped. Oh man, my back is killing me, just like bending over, like, oh boy. Like I said, banana shaped. Mine's a little bit of a mess I've made. I've been out here for another 2 hours. The worst part is trying to get your hands up in the panel. I designed that very poorly.
I basically have everything wired up except for the map sensor. So I have the injectors wired up, I have the coil wired up, I have the crank sensor wired up. It's all down in here. I don't have like our coolant temp sensor and our, actually that's our engine grounds. I didn't ground those yet. Those might need to be grounded for it to work, but we're not gonna actually run anything yet. I just wanna see what's gonna happen when I turn the key forward because I haven't tested this yet.
And what better way to film it than if it might possibly explode on us. So, key forward. Relays are on. Now if I turn it, our solenoid should kick in and the crank should crank over. That's on the key, boys!
Look, it's on a key.
All right, I'm gonna do the wiring. Next time I come out here off camera before I start doing whatever I'm gonna do next. One thing I failed to remember to do was I need to put a radiator in this somewhere. And I didn't plan that one out very good at all because there's no room for a radiator anymore because front mount turbo. Anyways, every subscriber counts. We just hit 152,000 and I appreciate every one of you guys. Make sure you like the video. Peace easy, get that V. Black Sheep Industries for the win.